Alright, let's get right into class 24 summary and review. We learned another postposition plus more vocabulary and other things. So let's get right into it. So first, we learned, like I said, some new vocabulary. What did we learn new here in this past class? First was table, okay? Table. There are two different ways of saying table. One, you see on top, table, table. That is borrowed from English. Okay, that's borrowed from the English word table, which in Numu becomes just table, table. Another way of saying table, which I did not use in the class, just because it's kind of long, is bukuba nadukana. Bukuba nadukana, which essentially kind of translates to the place on which is your food, or the place on which you eat. So it's kind of very a lot of words in there. So I just use Devo because I know in the Walker River area that's kind of something that has become acceptable. So Devo, Devo, Devo. We also learned the word for chair. Okay, chair, which is atunu, atunu, atunu. If you recall, the word for to sit is katu, katu. And that suffix nu, N-O-O, nu, indicates the instrument used to do the verbal action. So katunu is the instrument used to do the verbal action of sitting. Katunu. Katunu is chair. And finally, we also learned the word for cup. Okay, cup is tsira. 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 This can also mean bowl. Okay, it kind of refers to an object that can hold something. So it can also mean a bowl, okay, tsira, or a dish. Generally speaking, dish. But in this class, tsira refers to a cup. So oftentimes the existence of something is indicated by posture verbs. Let me explain that a bit more. So posture verbs are to lie down, to sit, or to stand. That indicates your posture. Lie down, sit, or stand. To lie down, that first word on top, happy, happy, happy. To sit is the middle word, katu, which I just mentioned. And finally, that last word, wene, wene, is to stand. Those are posture verbs. So these verbs are used to indicate the existence of something. Let me explain a bit more. For example, if we have this sentence here, it says su tzikwi huno banuna de gumava happy. Su tzikwi huno banuna de gumava happy. What this is saying is that, well, in English we would just simply say the fork is beside the lake. The fork is beside the lake. But that word happy, happy, means to lie down. So in Numu, it's like saying the fork is lying down beside the lake. So that lying down just kind of indicates its existence. That's where it's at. Okay. Obviously in English, that sounds odd to us. We won't say that it's lying down next to the lake, but in Numu, that is how you would say it. Or not the other one. If I say sutsira banuna de zagi ikatu. Sutsira banuna de zagi ikatu. Meaning the cup is near the lake, but literally it's saying the cup sits near the lake or is sitting near the lake. That's how you would say it in Numu. Okay, finally, one last one. Susungavi banuna de unaba wunu. Susungavi banuna de unaba wunu. Which is saying the tree is on the other side of the lake. Let's break this down a little bit more. Sungavi is a word that specifically refers to a cottonwood tree, but it is also the word that is used to refer to a tree in general. Sungavi, tree. Okay, the word directly below it, unaba, means the other side. Okay, Once again, I like to add the colon to indicate that the double O is lengthened. It's unaba, unaba, okay? The original Wycliffe spelling system used 3 O's to indicate lengthening, but I'm personally not a fan of that. That's just my profession, my my preference. So banana de unaba means the other side of the lake, okay? And finally, as we learned last spring, the word wun means stand. So when talking about the existence of a tree, you say that the tree stands in a particular location. In this case, on the other side of the lake. So susungabi panina de unaba wun means the tree is on the other lake, or literally the tree stands on the other lake. Also, a note on pronunciation. Notice that single B in the word sungavi. Sungavi. The single B indicates a soft B sound. It's v, v. You're bringing your lips together. You're allowing the air to flow kind of freely, a little bit of a vibration on your lips. V, v, sungavi, sungavi. The soft B is oftentimes spelled. Some people spell it with a V, and even pronounced like a V, but I suspect that's due to English influence. Okay, but then this double B in the word unaba, you fully close your lips and you allow the air from your lungs to come to a complete stop until you release it. Ba, ba. So that first word sunavi, sunavi, soft, but unaba, unaba, hard B, okay? Next, we learn namugwe, namugwe, which means in the middle of, okay? Namugwe, namugwe. So if we want to say that a boat is floating in the middle of the lake, okay, we could say susaki kavanina de namugwe nahupani. Susaki kavanina de namugwe nahupani. Okay, let's break this down. We all should know su. Okay, su points you or tells you who the subject of the sentence is, which in this case is saki. Saki means boat. Saki. Okay, that third word ka, we've learned this in the last spring, introduces whatever else is not the subject of the sentence. It can introduce direct objects of the sentence, or it can introduce subordinate clauses of a sentence. And that's what it's doing here. It's introducing the subordinate clause in the middle of the lake. Okay? Banina de namugwe. In the middle of the lake. Banina de namugwe. Notice here, lake, if you recall, in isolation would start with the P. Banina de. Banina de. But following ka, it kind of changes more to that soft B sound, all right? And nahupani, this last word, means floating. So nahu is a word that means float. We learned previously, puni indicates the state of being. So nahupani means kind of the state of floating. Susaki kavanuna de namugwe nahupani. The boat is floating in the middle of the river, okay? We also learned the word for leaf, like a tree leaf, is sungavi naka. Sungavi naka, tree leaf. Naka can mean ear, but it also means leaf. So sungavi naka, tree ear. We also learned the word flower, donigya. Donigya, flower. If you want to ask where do the flowers grow, we say hano mudonigya na'a. Hano mudonigya na'a. Okay, we learned previously hano. Hano means where. Okay, mu is the plural article the, but it indicates plurality, not singularity. So when we put mu in front of the word donigya, it indicates plurality, so it's flowers. Hano mudonigya, where are the flowers? And notice the T kind of turns more into that D sound. Hano mudonigya na'a. And that final word na'a means to grow. Hano mudonigya na'a. Where do the flowers grow, or where are the flowers growing? Okay. We also learned the word tubi, which means rock or stone. Tubi, all right? So if we were to kind of practice a little bit in class, maybe if I say, Hanosusaki, where is the boat? I would say, Susaki kavanina de unabakatu. Where is the boat? The boat is on the other side of the lake, or the boat is sitting on the other side of the boat. Or if I ask Hanosudebi, where is the rock? In this case, I would say Sudebi ka sungabi tsagi ikatu, or su sungabi gumabakatu. The rock is beside the tree. Or I might ask Hanosu sungabi naka. Where is the leaf, the tree leaf? Hanosu sungabi naka. I would say su sungabi naka kavanuna de namu gwe na hupani. The leaf is floating in the middle of the lake. Hanosu sungabi naka kavanuna de namu gwe na hupani. The tree is floating in the middle of the lake. All right, that's your little summary and review. For more details and further explanations, please watch our full-length hour video on our YouTube channel. Until next time, mabunidawa. See you all later.